Hi, and welcome to Business Advisory and Tax Tips. Today, I have some really big news on the PPP, but first, I want to give you an update on the $1,400 stimulus check. Many of you know that I'm Michelle Burke, and I'm coming to you live from Annapolis, Maryland. After 30 years in the corporate tax world as a CPA and tax accountant, I went out on my own last January and formed Health and Taxes. There are only two things certain in life, death and taxes. I'm here to help you flip that to health and less taxes. Every Wednesday, I come to you at 5 p.m. Eastern, both here on Facebook Live and on my YouTube channel, Health and Taxes. Please check that out, subscribe, like, share. Any feedback would be appreciated. So thank you. But you can check out live here. And if you have comments or questions, please feel free to add them in the comments section as we go. So there's big news on the PPP, but first I want to update you on the third stimulus package. What's going on? So last week I mentioned the House thought that they would be voting on it either Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday has come and gone. They have not voted on it. However, they are saying they will vote on it by Friday or Saturday, that they will stay till Saturday to vote on it. So remember that it has to get through the House, it has to get through the Senate, it has to be signed by the president. Everybody's still hopeful and still working towards a March 15th or March 14th deadline to get that done so that some of the other programs don't, like unemployment, renter's assistant, don't expire before a new program is put in place. So just remember that. So the House of Representatives are, like I said, going to vote either Friday or Saturday. Meanwhile, the Senate parliamentarian, they're making a decision on whether the and paid family, an extension to worker paid family leave and medical leave can be included in the Budget Reconciliation Act. So that's happening, and that some of the House and Senate members are waiting to hear on that. So supposedly they'll hear on that. Otherwise, those pieces of the bill will be pulled out and maybe will go to their own separate bill or something like that. But the question is whether they can stay in under the special Budget Reconciliation Act or if they need to be pulled out. So waiting to hear on that. So hopefully that happens soon and the House goes on to vote on the bill as it is. So remember, that's $1,400 per taxpayer and dependent right now. So again, it's still in the bill that regardless of age, whether elderly, whether in college, whether all dependents would get the $1,400 this round. So that's the language that's in there as far as we know. So that's what everybody's hoping continues to pass. So that's all I really have right now on the stimulus. So keep standing by. Let's keep hoping for that March 14th deadline that Biden told us that's when he was trying to sign it by. So let's see if everybody can work together and make that happen for that American Rescue Plan. But the big news today, one thing before I jump to the big news, if you're in Texas or some of the other areas that have been declared natural or a federal disaster zone, given all the historic events that happened lately, federal tax filing has been pushed until June 15th if you're in those disaster areas. There's some question about, a lot of people are asking if, like last year, just in general, will the April 15th deadline be pushed out? There's still some speculation that it might be, but right now there is no word that it will be. It's just for people that were impacted by the natural disaster. So just wanted to keep you updated on that. So the really exciting news right now is with the PPP. So if you're a sole proprietor, independent contractor, self-employed, and you applied for the first round or didn't apply for the first round, they're looking to expand the definition of how to do the calculation. So most people that applied, these are Schedule C, when we're talking about we're talking about companies where you're the only employee, where you're self-employed, sole proprietor, or independent contractor. So the way it was calculated on the first round was basically you looked at your Schedule C, you looked at your income, your gross receipts minus your expenses. That was your net income. You had to have net income, and then they took that net income for the year, divided by 12 months, times 2.5. And most of that was based off of wages. So they kind of looked at what were your wages, what were your earnings for 2.5 months, and that's the amount of PPP funds that you received. Now that was capped at $100,000 max gross, right? Or max net. So 100,000 divided by 12 times 2.5. The maximum PPP a sole proprietor received was $20,833. So what they have done now is clarified or recalculated. So this is coming from a White House briefing that was given on Monday. The SBA will be coming out shortly with new guidance on to allow you to go back and apply for more round one if you didn't get 20,833 and if you qualify. But even if you didn't, you can go back and reapply, and they're going to be coming out with more guidance how to do that. So you can go back and reapply for round one. Even if you got round one, you might qualify for more funds. So this time they will take however much gross receipts you have before you deduct out your expenses, divide that up to $100,000, then that's the max, and then divide that by 12 times 2.5, and that's how much PPP you can qualify. So if you do that calculation and it's more than you got from your first round, you will have an opportunity to go back and reapply for round one. So that's a really big deal. And the reason that's happening is because President Biden was hearing that a lot of small businesses weren't getting the money, because if they were generating a loss, you weren't qualifying for PPP, even though you had gross receipts. So remember, you have to be in business in 2019, or at least in business having gross receipts by February 12th of 2020. And you have to be bringing in gross receipts. You could also be an independent contractor, so an Uber driver or someone like that, just getting a 1099. So again, you may qualify for more. So I just want to put that out there because there's going to be a lot more information coming out on that here probably today or in the next few days, because the SBA will have to put out the guidance. They did allow this guidance for farmers before, so they do have something that they can work from and possibly quickly modify that. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because that is a big deal to a lot of Schedule C filers, and it may impact you. So if you have any questions on that, please put your questions in the comments or reach out to me directly. So that is my news for today. Thank you for joining me. I'll be here again next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern with business advice and tax tips. Always happy to entertain new topics. Please go out to my website. I mentioned last week I have a blog out there now. Please sign up for my blog, and you'll get a monthly blog. It'll be some business advice and tax tips. So please do that. I'm happy to share that with you. And that is all I have for today. So thanks for joining me and have a good night.